fresh back from a riot. Am I right? Is that just your morning hair, or are you back with your rioting hair?
Dude, I'm about to get a haircut today.
Yeah?
Yeah, we got clippers in the mail. It's gonna look real bad.
You can't riot with fucking shaved hair. Don't be a lunatic.
I'm not gonna shave it. I don't know what's gonna happen.
They're gonna think you're on the wrong side of justice. You go out there with a shaved head, Dan. I'd suggest not doing it today.
I was gonna go over the Brian Bosworth look. I was gonna go late '80s Boz mullet. I think it'll work.
Hell yeah! The whole gang is here. Of course, Black King, Black Lou Johnson, Soul Brother #1. We're sorry from all of us in the show. We're sorry from all the campers. We're sorry.
I want to apologize for a couple uncles. I want to apologize for a couple cousins that have some very fringe views.
Lou, you want to give your home address if anybody wants to send you PBA cards or just something? If we could do anything, maybe one of those tools that gets a boot off of your car wheel.
Badass.
Or maybe a getaway with opening a fire hydrant in the summer pass. I'll do anything I can to make sure your black life is easier. We have DJ Lou. We have Jacob Batat over there taking care of his parents. And I think that means killing them. Is that what you think that means? I'm here to take care of them. I'm going to put pillows over their face while they sleep.
He goes, did you get that? What's the name of that chair, Jacob? I think I saw a commercial for it yesterday on TV.
It's called it's called your grandfather's chair.
That ain't your grandpapa's chair, dude. Look at
that is a throne for a goddamn wheelchair for life person.
Yeah.
Joining us on the show, two of our absolute favorites, of course, the hilarious Jessica Kierson. How are you, Jessica?
I'm good. I missed you guys. I'm so glad to be here. Good. Why am I saying thank you for
the last time you were on? Was probably one of my easily hardest laughs.
Yeah.
Of this whole
disgusting
quarantine.
Oh
no! The Sam Adams commercials was just.
I know. I love making fun of shit with you guys.
Oh my God! I forgot about that episode completely. That's how much weed I've smoked in quarantine. That was so fun.
I can't not remember her. Just Jessica. You were so fucking funny on those. I mean,
so here our cheers is to Jessica.
Yeah, cheers to you. When you said Joe Coy's mom trans, and then we said no, but it might be Tran because she's whatever Asian she is.
Yeah. And I think Jay said she looked like Manny Pacquiao, which is
Manny Pacquiao. Also joining us, everybody. You know, he's family here, everyone. Former producer of the Bonfire and ginger extraordinaire, the birthday boy. What? Merkface Andy Fiore, everybody.
Hey, kids.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday,
everybody.
What
the fam? Hey, Jess, what's up?
How are you?
So good to see everybody. So great to see you. I'm good. I'm good as can be.
It's been long enough that your beard came back. It is now back to like it never happened.
Jessica, at the beginning of quarantine, we did a show with Merkface right as he shaved his face. It was
wow.
So his beard's already back.
It didn't look like he wanted to do it. It looked like it was one of those shaves you have to do because you got infected working in a lab and you had to.
Yeah. There you go. You got to wash out your eyes and shave off all your facial.
Yeah. Well, that's where it's going to live in.
I was going to a space colony and had to shave off all my facial hair.
Don't take this the wrong way, but you look like a really nice chicken.
I love that.
Like, well, I understand that.
Bad looking. A very like cuddly chicken. Like your face. Yeah.
I feel like
if on my dating profile.
If I woke up,
nice looking chicken, ladies.
If I woke up in a new life and I was like a baby squirrel and I ran down the tree and I was on a farm and I ran into Andy as a chicken, I'd be like, "You're a kind chicken." I hope that.
I think I would be very helpful on the farm. I'd spread out my feet.
Yeah.
What birthday is it, Andy?
41.
41. No shit. Man, didn't we all picture we'd be more successful by the ages we are?
At 36, I thought I was going to be dead.
Dude, I tell you, it's so funny. I talk about this all the time, and I preach it to younger comics and friends who are less years in than me. But it happened to me last night, dude. I heard about, I was hope I was supposed to showcase my special or my hour, I should say. For
we talked about this on the episode about how you couldn't remember how any of the jokes go.
No, there's nothing to do with that. But I mean, that's a big problem also. But like, I was supposed to, I was supposed to showcase it for them like a month and a half ago or so.
Yeah.
And obviously didn't get a chance to do that. And then also was a thing like, hey, can we just like get this thing on the books? I don't give a shit if it's a year from now. Let's just get it on the books, you know? And it was like, that's an impossibility. We can't do anything like that. And then found out last night that somebody did get picked up for a thing. And it's someone I like too. So it's like, it's not a thing to shit on the person, but I did the thing last night. Last night I had a good hour of the thing of just are you fucking shitting me, man? Like, come on, dude. Like, it's like, what, you know, it's like I had a total why them, not me. And it was just like, and I had a zillion reasons of why I'm angry of why them, not me. But I was like, oh man, it sucks to still have that. You really try to be.
What did someone get? Can you tell me really quick? What did they get?
It's just an hour special, an hour special Netflix.
To be like next year?
Yeah. Like on the books, like basically the thing I was asking for.
Oh, I think I know. Is it one of our friends?
Not a close friend, but a friend for sure, and a person I really like. It's nothing about them. It was just a thing I was like, so you fucking dicked me around. Like there was no reason.
Yeah, but I think that's like a part of not only this business but life is like you're gonna get things all the time. Like, dude, I'm not gonna lie. When Pete Davidson got SNL over me in 2014,
of course, dude.
I was like, dude, you picked a kid who doesn't do voices over. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then I, honestly, through therapy and then just through fucking living life, you're like, oh, I got to do the Bonfire because I didn't get SNL. I got to do all this shit that's like so much better and more me and led me to like where I'm going to be. But Jay, just that I said it comes back around. I got a text from Soul and he's like, hey, they're writing a article on Pete about like him starting off in comedy. I gave the Post your number because I know you knew Pete when he was like 15. And so I did this interview with this guy, and the guy only knew me from Billions and had no clue I was in comedy and was just asking these questions that I was like, oh man, you're really fucking testing me today. Where he was like, what was it like seeing Pete get SNL? Were you just like so happy for him? And you're like,
God.
I'm like, yeah. Like, what's his favorite sketch? And I'm like, there's so many.
I like his tattoos.
Interestingly enough, Pete and Che were a turnaround thing for me. And then I said the time that I really, at least until last night, I thought it was kind of gone in me. When I got my Comedy Central hour, I was like, oh, like I think my days of like looking left and right and being like, why is this person getting this? Why is this person getting this? Are over. Because it's kind of like that's the goal I had in mind when I started comedy only. So anything beyond that in my mind, I'm like, oh, I could still maybe I could do another special. So like it seems like it seems so like that was gone. But before that, one of the first things where I just rationalized in the moment and saved myself even a day of like jealousy and envy was Che and Pete, because like when they got that, I was like, I mean, I was one of the judges for Che's audition at the comic strip.
Yeah,
like when they were doing the judging thing, like I was the person. I was like, hey, I go 3 years in, you really got a good. I mean, I was very positive because he was good, But like, and when he said he was 3 years in, I was like, oh yeah, dude, you're gonna be like great, you'll be fine. But it's like, I remember doing that. And it's like, you're going to be good, kiddo. And like, and Pete almost being when the first time he came on the podcast, I was like 17. Like, should we not have a 17-year-old on the show? Like, it's dirty.
Well, what's funny is
and so both of those guys, but when they both got, let me just finish the thought then. I'm sorry. But I was saying like, when they both got SNL, like I had that immediate reaction. I'm like, are you fucking shitting me? Like, these guys are going to be far financially more successful than me, like as kids and all that. And then I was like, you know what, dude? I don't do characters. I would never had aspirations of being on SNL. I'm just a fan of it. I'm like, so why just be happy for him, dude? Like, it wasn't my path anyway. You know what I mean? Like, that was the first kind of time I had that, like, don't get mad because somebody got a thing and just be like bitter about it. I used to have that with Kurt all the time, back and forth.
But I mean, back to Che and Pete, what you were talking about. I don't want to slip into the Kurt thing because I want to say, like, with Che and Pete, it was I didn't give. Pete was always like the little brother, like you said. He was 17 years old. You're like, should this kid even be around us right now? Like, he'd be at the comedy club, and you're like, what's this kid doing hanging out here? And the only reason it hurt me is because I was like, I'm like in my head, I'm like, all right, going to audition for SNL. Here we go. And then he shows up and he's like, hey, what's up, dude? And I'm like, what's up, Pete? What are you here? He's like, I don't know. They want me to come down here and do this. And you're like, oh, cool, man. Well, good luck. Good luck, dude. He's like, yeah, I don't know if it's going to go well or whatever. And then I go and fucking bust my ass on like 6 impressions and like write it. I like run it by Wolf. I ran it by Che. I was like, had these ideas. I was like, what if I go with this? And then just for him to be like, it really is. It's like his character on SNL. He's like, I don't know. Okay, that sounds cool. And then you know what I mean. And you're trying. So it's not like I was in competition with him my whole career. And I was like, oh, I got this. It was almost, it hurt more because you're like, oh, he's like my little brother. Like that's my little guy friend, you know. And then they're like, okay, move your friend. You're like the little guy. Yeah, okay, sure, cool, dude.
Even Schumer had a little bit of a thing for me that I was like, like. Hey, kid, Whitney Cummings, too. 2 people at one point I was like, hey, kiddo, sure, I'll answer your goofy questions. And then before you know it, I'm like, hey, Amy's so sweet. She put me on her TV show 3 times. Which she did. But I'm saying, like,
I taught her. I coached her. And
Really?
now look.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean,
So
it's
funny
so
'cause, yeah.
amazing. You know, I always tell the. Go ahead, Dan.
I was just gonna say, I'm just asking Pete for auditions now. I'm like, hey man,
Yeah.
could you get me in the room?
Can
I
get a
think
little
I
something
could.
on that?
I think
You
I
get
could
me
play
in talks
weird.
with- Well, you know,
weird
again,
number-
I always have that bananas example because I started comedy with Kev. So I mean, Kevin Hart is like, you know, you can't hold yourself to that gauge. But wait,
Jessica
go ahead.
teaching. Oh, I was gonna say, sorry. With you teaching, you taught Amy, right?
Yeah, I coached her and I took her around with me. Like she used to open for what we once did the funniest thing at Governor's. She came to open for no one knew who she was. And we were in a car and could not stop laughing. We pretended like she was deaf the whole night. So and she committed to it. I got to give it to her. She didn't fucking break once. Like in the green room, she was like, I'm like, do you want a coffee? And she's like, I would have a coffee. Like everyone thought she.
Yeah, that's fucking great.
I'm like, can I tell you a joke? And she's like, I can't hear you. Like, it was and it was for hours. Out to this day, we laugh about it. Everyone thought she would.
But even with that, like I said, because me and Kurt are like really close friends, but there's times where Kurt had things where in my heart I hated it. Like I would actually talk to other friends about like being so upset with myself because I'm like, I am happy for him, but I'm not happy for him. It's the first thing thought I'm having is like, what the fuck, man? Like I'm sitting here working my ass off too. You know what I mean? So like, you know, I was always supportive. That would never be outward. I would put that out there. But did you have anything like that with Amy? Did you get like in the moment of just like?
Now, Rachel Feinstein and I are very close, and we started together, and we're similar in certain. You know, we both do characters, so we always had this thing where we love each other to death. But it's like, it's so hard when you get something and I don't, but we work through it. But it's a normal thing. Like if you don't have that, there's something wrong.
Right.
It's completely normal.
Dan, you might know this story, I think, but Jessica, Andy, you guys would appreciate this. I'll make it as quick as possible. Years ago, I was doing a black comedy club in D.C.
Good for you.
Teddy, thank you.
Thank you.
DJ Lou, you have any stories?
All the social media posts cannot take that away from you, Jay.
Well, no,
you have done more.
Yeah, be honest with you, the story is maybe on bad timing because this isn't a pleasant story about what happened to me at this black club. The black
Jay
club,
left the club screaming, "I hope the cops kill all of you," and someone has it on tape.
Yeah. Teddy Carpenter, who's a piece of shit. Teddy Carpenter was a piece of shit. Fucking owned the club. He didn't pay his rent. They locked the doors on him in the middle of the weekend after the first night or something. And he had, and I knew that I was featuring that weekend, and I knew there was going to be a problem with the money, was my assumption. But when I went in the second night, they just sent me home. They told me they were sending me home, and they didn't even pay me for the show that I did fully. It was a fucking nightmare. They go, yeah, go pack your stuff up, and we'll take you to the train station. It was insane. While I was packing my bags to go back to the train station, the TV was just on, and MTV was on, and it goes, hey everyone, it's Carson Daly, and this is how long ago it was. It's Carson Daly, and we're bringing the new Dave Matthews video premiere right now. And I look at the screen, and it's whatever the song is with Judah going every day. Is that Judah Freeland going around hugging everybody? It made a horrible day as horrific and memorable as possible in my mind. And why that is because I'm broke. I'm doing clubs like this where I can get fucked over a bunch. That's like where I can get like work.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm struggling. I think Isabella's a baby. And a few weeks earlier, I get a call from Craig Gass who goes, "Hey, my girlfriend works at this casting agency, and they're having a hard time casting this music video. They'd like you to come in and take a look. They want to try some comedians." I go, "Awesome." So I go in, and they had me do all these different hug things, and I was making them laugh. It was the best audition still that I've ever gotten, even for things that I've gotten before. It's the best audition I've ever done. And I mean, as far as like the feeling in the room, like you were like, "Wow, I own these people. They're laughing their ass off." And
you're like, I got this.
And I'm telling you, when they walked me down the hallway back to the lobby, the guy had his arm around me, and he was like wiping his eyes, and he goes, "Oh man," he goes, "That was fun, man. That was fun." He goes, "Listen, I can't say anything officially, but it's like I'd be expecting a call if I were you." And I was like very cool. And as I walked out of the lobby, I went to the front door of the lobby, and I looked over at the couch, and I went, "What's up, Judah?" And I just walked out of the room. I was like, immediately after me, Judah went in there and dominated harder. And you're just like, so I'm getting kicked out of a comedy club for nothing. They said that I wasn't doing well, but was just made up. It was just the guy couldn't afford the whole show anymore, and so he fucking bailed. He fucking just bailed on me and sent me home, so he didn't have to pay me. And so it's like that happened. You're like, I've never even heard a story of that happening in comedy. It hurts so much. I'm like, I'm going home early. It's humiliating. And then I'm on a TV show. Oh, well, by the way, also you didn't get that video. Like I didn't even think about it again in my mind. I'm like, I'm waiting for this phone call.
Yeah, Jessica.
God.
Did the hour special on Comedy Central did that kind of give you a little like, okay, maybe I'm not. Sometimes you put a little ointment on the fire and it goes down a little bit.
Well, you get that
yeah.
You have that feeling of like, is it going to be my turn at some point? Is like, am I even in the game? Like, am I on my way to being a VF? Like you're like, am I going to be a VFW comic? I'm 40. You know what I mean? You get those things where you're like, well, am I going to be just like a traveling like firehouse guy? Like it's a bummer.
It's very hard. And I can't imagine what it's going to be like now for people who are starting out or under 10 year or whatever it is. It's like, it's hard if you're not in it now when it comes back, because it's going to be a lot more competitive.
I was on the phone with my mom and she was like, could you imagine if this happened 10 years ago? And I was like, I have to move back in with you. I would have had to move back to Colorado and just like had a job at a regular place because.
Buddy, if this happened 6 years ago, I'd be destitute. I'd be destroyed.
Yeah, and I feel for the people that it's that you're right. It's going to really fuck them up unless they've got a strong foothold somewhere.
Yeah, you really.
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah. I really do believe that. I mean, and I feel like everything, like you, Dan, we talked about our specials coming out. Then I had all these gigs coming up at places I wanted to be for the money I wanted, and now it's like I'm a fucking Zoom comic.
Anytime.
I can't even.
Yeah.
Let me give you and Jay equal advice about Nate Bargatze. Anytime he makes a guarantee, it is guaranteed to fold. He's done it a couple times in our friendship, and
he's done it to me too. Actually, so he said when Jordan Matthews got drafted by the Eagles, Nate's all van. He goes, future Hall of Famer, buddy, guaranteed. He was borderline worthless his entire career and became a bench rider somewhere else. He is a failure.
So what does he think? What does he think is going to happen?
So Jessica and I on her podcast were talking about how we both had specials come out and tickets went up, and you finally started selling tickets, and then everything shuts down, and you're like, of course. And I was, Nate's been building, and now he's doing theaters and stuff, and which we're all super proud of him, and he's a fantastic comedian. But I was talking to him about selling out comedy clubs and like the bonus structure, or like going to like ticket sales or whatever, and he goes, "Oh, buddy, your life's about to change." He's like, now that you're selling out, weekends are different, dude. They're just great. You're gonna love it. And I was like, yeah. He's like, and it'll never change. He like made it sound like, and it's gonna be like this forever. And then it's like everything shuts down. You're like, fuck.
Endless summer, buddy. Endless summer.
He even did that when we did the Netflix half hours. We did it the same season, but he was episode 1, I was episode 6. He took off from it, and no one knew I did an episode. So he would call me and be like, "How is it for you, buddy? Getting pretty crazy up here." And I'd be like, "Yeah, it's not really move the needle." And he's like, "Well, I don't know."
Fiore, any truth to the theory that you've been looting Taco Bells in Astoria?
100% true.
Son of a bitch. You went out marching, didn't you?
No.
Why did somebody tell me that you were?
Black Lou just did a spit take.
Did you hear that?
God damn it, I wish.
Right. You went
We better grab that video. Someone pull that video back because Black Lou just did a spit take when he said
Black Lou also. Jacob,
Where did you hear that?
Somebody on this goddamn show said that you were
what?
You were
Jay?
There's a lot of protesters who have this look. I feel
just gonna say you have.
That's true.
You have,
especially with masks on. That could have been a Merc face case of mistaken identity, real easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Annie has a "don't worry, I've got wipes and poster board in my backpack" face.
Yeah,
I thought he's got more of a he has more of a shut this shit down ethnics vibe to him. I don't know. Maybe I'm seeing it wrong.
Jay, without the glasses, with a mask holding his gun, he does have the open back country up.
When he shaves the beard, he looks like a fucking LPN. I mean, he looks like a male nurse.
Yeah, dude. When he shaves his beard, he just looks like he calls himself an advocate.
Yeah. There was very nice and peaceful protests in Astoria, but I was of the opinion, I'm like, aren't we still not supposed to be in crowds? I support everything the protests stand for, but I'm not getting in a crowd of 1,000 people.
You know, I feel bad because I did go to protest and I ended up licking like 11 people's asses, and I'm really afraid now that I might have the virus.
It's the only way as a white woman you can apologize for what's happening.
I was gonna go to the protest and walk around with a "I'm white, cough on me" face, with a board that says "I deserve for you to cough on me."
Dan, I don't think we have ranted on this yet because I think I just said I keep forgetting to bring it up on the show. I go, what's got to be one of the most awkward things is just like when you're done protesting for that day, like dipping out of a protest is, I mean, it must happen because it thins out over the course of the night, but just like having to be like, no justice, no peace, rest in peace, George Floyd, Black Lives Matter. Like, all right, guys, I'm gonna jam out of here.
I thought we talked about that. Wait, hold on. Was that me and you talking about that on the phone or on the?
I think we did it on the phone. I don't. Did we ever do
it on the phone or the radio? Wait, we did it on the show.
Jay mentioned it on the show.
Yeah, we already talked about that on the show. We're like, I gotta beat traffic. I think this thing's gonna be over soon.
Right.
You know what, dude? I don't want to say it, but the cops are advancing pretty steadily. I think I'm gonna jam out. Not because I don't believe in the cause. I just got an early one tomorrow.
He goes, dude, you're leaving now? I was like, dude, don't give me shit. I burned the cop car. We smashed in the Macy's. Like, what? What? Come on, man. What is it? I'm not 13. You know, I'm not 22 anymore.
Go, listen, man, I know no justice, no peace for 35 blocks, and then I smashed up a Sam Goody. I got a jam.
Sam Goody. I just brought back some.
I bashed in a Radio Shack, kind of kicking a man when he's down. I don't know who's into those things.
Ripped into an electronics boutique and got some floppy disks.
Well, dude, one story that I've been watching was Drew Brees came out and put his whole foot in his mouth. He put his whole entire cleat right in his kisser, right in his dick.
I bet even with that, he could still cannon that thing about 65 yards.
You don't think you can't fire that fucking pigskin right on a dime?
Foot in mouth on field. Flick.
I want you to take a look at something right here. Drew Brees has his foot entirely in his mouth, and he gets the ball off perfectly. He came out, and Jessica, if you don't know, the quarterback for this New Orleans Saints, historically black city, came out, and he was like, yeah, like I'm all for change, but I don't want to. Oh, fuck, Christine, you're gonna have to look it up. The exact thing he said was
I
like,
liked it better when y'all just brought me my meals.
because what happened to white
In
glove
mouth.
service? No, he said he doesn't want to.
They have to tell Drew Brees that all the black guys on the team work for him.
Yeah, if you could find the original quote, because this is the apology. That's what I sent you. That's why I was trying to say if you could look up the original quote, because he said basically like, yeah, this is the
Here,
apology.
I will never agree with anybody disrespect. Right here, right?
There it is. Yeah, I will never agree with anybody disrespect. Oh, they asked him about kneeling. They're like, hey, Drew Brees, if players kneel next year, now that police brutality, and that's what Colin Kaepernick wanted by kneeling, would you support players kneeling to protest police brutality? And then he wrote, I will never agree with anybody disrespecting the flag of the United States of America. Because he said his grandfather fought for that flag, and you're like, dude, that is not the way to go right now. And then everyone just basically came out. Ed Reed called him a sucker. He called him something where I heard it, and I was like, ooh, like a bunch of players came out. Were like, fuck Drew Brees.
You thought the Saints had a bounty problem before.
Drew Brees always been a jive ass turkey. I like all the quotes negative about him are just the blackest things possible.
You go. I'm gonna say like now. I'm gonna say it right now. I've been in the locker room with Drew Brees. He smells like wet dogs, and you're like, oh man, they're hitting him with some real ones.
You're gonna see a lot of knees get taken. Fucking guys blocking for him next season. They're just gonna go,
Dude,
whoops, take a knee.
Yeah,
Whoops, took a knee.
Left guard takes a knee, and you just fucking
Took a knee.
JJ Watt come and eat your guts.
Yeah, dude.
It's fucking
It's a
hilarious.
sport. It's a sport that's like, I think the NFL is something like 80% black, and it's like you're a tiny white guy in that league, and you're like, but I'll tell you what I do love is the flag. And all the black guys around you are like, what?
I'll be honest with you. I think I'm starting to understand black people's plight more, because at this point, I think any white player in the NBA is just affirmative action hire. I feel like in the locker room, they're going like, well, we got to have this fucking dude from Madrid on the team now, I guess.
They got to, yeah, the NBA has to bring in Euro whites so they know they're not racist. They're like,
hey,
they're like,
everyone, look, we're doing it there. We're letting them shoot 3-pointers. Yay.
They go, hey, Tapaquino, who do you not like? And he's like, I do not like Czech people. And you're like, yeah, that's not a thing. I don't give a fuck.
Every not black player is an affirmative action hire.
Just white Euros who don't have American problems with blacks. So they're just like, you're definitely not racist, right? And you're like, I do not like the finish. And you're like,
The gawky movements of a tall white guy will never be able to rival the smooth, sultry moves of a black man on that basketball court. Remember Brent Barry won the dunk contest with the Jordan dunk? He looks like a stick figure. He looks like a sign on a men's bathroom. How stiff he is in the air.
look up the Brent Barry dunk. Christine.
Jordan does an entire river dance in the air with his legs while he's dunking.
So funny. Jay, the perfect example is both of our two favorite NBA teams, because you have Joel Embiid, who is awesome center and plays fluid and is
Dribbles between his legs and shit. It's bananas.
up, makes moves, and then you have the center of my favorite team, the Denver Nuggets, Nikola Jokic, just a giant white dude.
Nikola Jokic, I mean, looks like when you put a fat kid in a tight jersey.
Plays basketball. He plays basketball. I've said this so many times, like a dad in a pool with his kids. It's just like, where he just has the ball up here because he's 7 feet, and he's like, "Hey, look at me move around. I move around a lot." And then you just have like,
Man.
yeah, Jay's got an excellent
Dude,
point.
you could probably
Sign
find a
off
video on
this
YouTube
in order to
of
put the
white
fire
basketball
out.
play-
That is
of white basketball players tripping over their own feet. I bet it happens nonstop. That there's fucking compilation videos of white athletes tripping over their own feet. I've done it. I've been running down a basketball court and then had to do a tumble sauce, not even a somersault, a tumble sauce, because my fat body was, and I do accept as I'm going forward, like it's happening. Make a decision, Jay. Tuck your head, and keep going, and try to get up like no one saw it.
There's two different types of squeaks in the NBA. There's black players' sneakers squeaking because they're making a directional change, and there's white players squeaking because their feet got caught under them.
It's the squeak think of white rolled ankles. It's like guys that get hurt just from running. They go, yeah, oh, what happened? And nothing. I don't know. For some reason my ankle just kissed the ground.
90% of white squeaks end with I'm okay.
I'll say what white sneaker squeaks and then timeouts. Timeout. Bring in the trainer. What happened? It goes, I don't know. I distracted for a minute. Big feet just clunked into each other.
I thought about birds for a second.
Dude, white guys can't wear the stylish like sneakers. They always have to wear like the serious like ankle braces and old actual high tops. Black players playing fucking Sean John slides. They don't give a fuck.
No, has a white guy ever won the dunk contest? No, right?
You know what I've never seen a white guy do in a game of pickup basketball? Dominate a game wearing jeans and Timberlands. I've seen a lot of black people do that.
That shows you white athleticism. We basically need to be in speed suits with the modern technology on our feet.
A tall black guy's outrunning me in winter boots and fucking jeans. I'm dressed like I'm in the background of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air summertime video, and I'm getting dusted by a dude wearing winter clothes.
Yeah. You got a guy that just got off a 5-hour shift in a suit. He's just cutting you.
I've seen black guys play basketball in some bananas outfits. I mean, we're like, go change in the shorts, man. Why are you here in your air traffic control coveralls?
Yeah. You get dunked on by a guy in a reflective vest. You're like, shit! I saw you coming. I definitely saw you coming.
He pulls up in a riding mower from his landscaping job. What's up, y'all?
You never want to get crossed over and then see the work gloves in the back pocket.
Fucking stiff dungarees from fucking construction.
Yeah, meanwhile, I'm in Nike's Top Gear and I can't run straight.
Yeah, I'm wearing Under Armour and a fucking sleeve on my arm.
I got a compression sock on my arm and I can't even make a 10-foot shot.
There's some kind of copper. There's some kind of copper involved in my underwear that's keeping me moisture whipped.
He's scoring more points and he's actively being chased by the police.
His big fat dick is falling out of the big hole in his loose boxers.
Oh God, I can't take
just knocking into the back of the zipper, and he doesn't care. He's just dusting me.
And I need 2 Gatorades after a couple warm up layups.
Dude, I'm so impressed with athleticism that if I see somebody do something crazy athletic, I constantly ask them to do it again because I can't believe it happened. There was a waiter in a comedy club once who can just broad up jump from the lower level over the wall and land on the upper level. In you know what it was? It was in Edmonton. You know Edmonton, the
comic strip.
There was a waiter there who could just one arm hop over the wall from the down level to the up level in the back. Where you when you're waiting to go on stage, Dan? Do you know what I'm talking about? And we get a girl who wanted to fuck him. I'd keep going dude, can you do that thing again? Do the jump again? I just couldn't believe it. And he would just do it for you, perform for me like an idiot. He probably thought I was trying to have gay sex with him. Quite honestly, I would do that thing again. It's really sexy the way you do that thing.
Dude, it's so funny to think about all the times my ego was just completely collapsed because my athletic friends were like, I learned how to do a backflip. And I was like, whoa. And then they just do it. And I'd be like, I'm a piece of shit.
I would like a friend less, though, if he could learn a backflip. Then I'd be like, fuck you, dude. You think you're better than the group now. You're the backflip guy. You think it gives you a leg up. And I'm telling you what.
Better than the group.
You backflip around me hanging out at the mall, I'm going to walk away from you.
I don't know about
maybe
you.
Like an asshole in front of my friends.
Andy and Jessica, I don't know about you, but I feel like all comics kind of grew up with the same groups of people where they weren't cool, but they weren't dorks. They were just kind of on the peripheral.
Yeah, I mean, I was with the drug, the potheads and the Yeah, totally. The burnouts, deadhead.
That's the way to go.
I told you guys I had a jean jacket with a decal in the back that said Rush. How fucking funny is that? I had a Rush jacket.
That's badass.
Yeah. Yeah.
With the big old bubble letters.
Yeah. Yep. I still have it, actually.
12.
I'll tell you what, yeah, lesbian or not, Jessica, you just boned up Fiore big time. He likes everything you just said. Grateful Dead, pot, fucking. Absolutely. He's all about it.
Yeah.
One of us didn't outgrow those things.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that you and Fury grew up around the same place.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're South Orange, right?
Yep. Like 15 minutes from each other.
I think Andy's dad went out with your grandma, Jessica.
Yeah, possibly.
I doubt it.
No, I'm telling you, Andy's dad.
That might have been too young.
Do you know how old I am to my kid? When my kids are in high school, I'm going to be in I'm going to be in.
My dad's got everybody beat.
Literally.
Yeah, Andy, when you were in high school, how old was your dad? Freshman year.
So that was 14. So my dad was 69.
That's crazy.
55 when he had me. He was 63 when he had my kids. Rounded up.
Oh, dude, when Andy's dad was 69.
How old your dad? 69.
By the way, do you guys remember? I just want to say this. Do you guys remember when I did that on the bonfire about my mom and it bombed? You guys go, Trisha's birthday? I go, yeah, my mom's 69. And you guys went, that's disgusting. And I was like, no.
Oh, that's
by the way, fucking fact check that, but it's true.
Different for a mom, dude.
I know it'll make sense in the timeline ultimately. Did you watch that documentary?
No, I haven't yet. We got caught up last night. I'm watching it tonight or tomorrow. Definitely watching it tonight.
Yes, you should watch it too. It's on Hulu.
It's called Red Dog. Did anybody watch it?
No, I need something new too. Perfect.
It's about a bar / strip club in Oklahoma City, I believe. Jay and Christine.
Oklahoma City. Yeah, it's just you're just gonna love the people involved. It's just from a different time. It's a son interviewing his mom and all of her old friends that were like strippers at this dingy strip club, like filthy. There's like drugs and everyone's fucking each other. But it's like watching a documentary on Fleetwood Mac. It's like watching a documentary on Fleetwood Mac, but in this little one place. So it's like got a very family. It's just great. It's funny.
Girls are like striking, and it's like they're like 70 now. So you think the time frame is probably like late 60s, and it's just
early 70s. But it's just like they were just all smoking hot when they were younger, and just telling the stories of just being these young hot chicks, just fucking being animals, and all their friends, the biker guys. I said the best description of it I could describe. You don't fear them and hate them like the wild and wonderful whites of West Virginia, but like you want to hang with them like Cher's group of friends in Mask.
Yes.
Great analogy.
That was a good group.
Yeah, it's a good. They're good people. They fucking all pulled their biker money together to get that fucking deformed kid a tuxedo. A tuxedo.
And Dozer.
Oh, so great, man. I tell you what, that's one of my few movie cries, but that's a big movie cry for me.
Yeah, when you read this fucking poem at the end, dude.
Oof. Or Cher starts.
Question, Jay. If you had a I can't even say this without laughing. If you had a choice, you'd have to look exactly like the kid from Mask, but you would get a Netflix special. Would you?
Oh, dude, if you
look like him,
Rocky Dennis hour.
Really like this. But if someone said you have to look like him, but we'll give you a huge Netflix special, would you accept that?
Never. That's the time.
I'm so insecure. I'm so insecure already. I'm already so insecure that I actually thought when you were saying it, I already had a counter offer, and then I'm like, I'm so insecure that I wouldn't do that either. I was going to say no, but I would take maybe I would take like an Enrique Iglesias birthmark. You know what I mean? Yeah. But then I was like, no, I wouldn't take that either, man. I'm just already so like. I really. Then every girl me and Christine ever approach, I'll be like, "I'm a monster. Do you like my girlfriend?"
Is this me?
Yeah, Christine's really into it. You can look at her the whole time if you want to.
You can climb on my thing.
I'll do all my stuff from behind.
Go, Christian.
But what's the deal with dating? Hold on, I gotta eat one of these fish that they keep in a bucket.
They feed me live fish.
Live fish.
Now feed him
Throw it
another
in
one.
here.
You guys ever notice that the government's never honest with us? We'll put him.
Yeah, hey Jay, they want to know if you're doing a meet and greet. I go, I'll come out after I feed.
Do you want to see him? Do you want to see the comedian? Bring him out.
All the fans are holding fire torches and shit.
And I'm the hawk. I just come in. Take you back to your castle.
These grotesque people.
I accidentally hug a kid to death.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming to show. Thank you. If know you, know me.
He crushed my boy. But he was. He goes, I told then dude, that'd be so great if I'm just wearing like a fucking a twine hat and I'm sweaty all the time handling Jay. Get away from my special monster.
So you have to pick Jay up from the airport? No, he comes in his own horse-drawn carriage.
He comes through the luggage chute in a cage. And I go back, stand back. Stand back.
By the way, then Christine has to do all the working for the girls for us. And she's going to be like, "We just want to be my boyfriend." She goes, "Well, what's your boyfriend like?" Goes, "Well, he's really funny, and he's sweet. He's super sweet, and he's pretty cool. If I don't mind saying so myself. And he likes to, he likes to come in once things have already started wearing a mask. It's his thing.
Be cool about it.
A mask, tank top, and socks."
You guys are gonna love him though.
But he is such a hoot, and I'm telling you,
He's the big sweetie.
you're gonna get past the birthmark. He does have a Netflix special, and
First of all, you already have a Netflix special and you don't look like the mask.
Dude, I love that.
How about you're not getting on another Netflix special?
dude, the funniest thing in the movie, Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. At your meeting, they go, Jay, sorry. Netflix has decided to go a little bit different in 2020, and we're only offering our specials to oddities, pure oddities.
Oh, buddy. That's one of the funniest scene in Mask to me is when they go into the funhouse. He looks in the funhouse mirror and sees sees a reflection of a very ugly ginger and goes like, "Oh, this is how good it could be." Like, yeah, that's it, dude. That should have been a good feeling. You should have been like, "Yeah, dude, that's the best it could be." So who gives a shit?
That one always rang a little true for me. I was like, "Ooh, yikes!"
Everyone thought it was sad that I identified with the movie Angus. It's sadder if you identify with Mask.
Jay, you are talking
mirror Mask.
You know what? I just sent Christine the show that I identified with as a kid, and Mask was a close second to this one. But Christine, bring that up. This is
you identify with Mask. I guess single mom. I get that.
Single mom, big head. Come on, what are you talking about?
I think you were a deformed child, Dan.
I think I was deformed, but I thought this cartoon was more closer to what I was.
Dan, the picture of little Dan's. Oh yeah, I guess.
I remember that.
Dan, the vision,
the head on MTV.
Dan, the vision of you looking in a funhouse mirror and crying because you realize your head could be smaller. It makes me laugh so hard. There's a little crying Dan. He goes, "Mom, I don't want to go to that funhouse anymore.
It hurts my
Dan wrote the post. These things are a drag.
These things are cool." Yeah, Dan, get your Cal Ripken Jr. baseball cards off the wall. You're an adult.
Stepdads who swim.
Dude, stepdads, yeah. My guy's breaking. You go, what? Toys breaking? But I think we all had, yeah, you know, something I want to bring back and talk about from earlier was how any of us at this age like where we thought we were going to be at this age.
You know, I'll answer.
Do you remember like when you were 18?
Let me tell you, I can answer it quick. And because I'll say from like 19, because that is when I started comedy when I was 19. Yeah. I didn't think anything. It's the entire career snuck up on me somehow. I had all the envies and jealousies and stuff, but overall I was just doing what I was doing. I didn't feel like I was like falling behind. I knew that I was, but I just kind of felt like I was just like in the mix and like, I don't know, I guess I think someone gave me the advice that enough people will get stuff or quit comedy that you'll be there, like ready to take up a space somewhere that's like there for you. And I didn't picture anything. And then being in my late 30s, it all smacked me like one day, like, shit, man. Like I thought I'd have like a couple bucks by now, you know what I mean? Or like wouldn't be like struggling so much and worried about work and having to hustle so hard for work, So it all hit me at once. It wasn't like a build of like, when are these days going to end? It all happened, like from being like, I had no picture of where I'd be. I was like, I don't know. Like every time someone got an hour special that I know, I'd go, it's so funny. Like, I'd be like, dude, you just got your Eddie Murphy Delirious. You just got your whatever, I used to find hilarious to say Bill Cosby himself. I probably wouldn't use that as an example now, but even to this day, I'm like, you got like you have now an hour to make like an epic thing possibly, that's a fucking like. So when I didn't get it, I was like, of course I don't get things like. But then people get it, and you're like, well, should I be upset that I don't have it yet? You know what I mean? Like it was always like comparison, which sucks. But yeah, the answer to the question, short answer, I pictured nothing. Like I really didn't. I didn't have
But Jessica, when you got into comedy, did you have like an idea of what you wanted? Because I think Jay, that's very rare. That you were like, I'm just going in to do it. It was also probably a successful way to go.
Some people are very driven with a specific goal.
When I was younger, I agree. I thought I would either be dead by now or that sounds so horrible, but it's really true.
No, I get it. I feel the same way.
I never pictured myself married with kids. I can tell you that much, and it's much harder now because I'm home all the time. People, it's funny because Adele said recently, like, what if your kids heard you say you never wanted kids? I'm like, I would say it to them. I didn't want kids.
Yeah.
They'll understand me better.
I'm happy, but right. It's true. I mean, I love my children, but I never expected any of this. And career wise, I really thought I was going to be on Saturday Night Live or a show like that, like Mad TV, a sketch show. That was always what I thought. And then it never happened. And I swear I feel a little like I don't know now what I want. Like I don't even know now what I want to do in this business. I mean, I know I want to tour and sell out shows, right, but I don't. I mean,
that's that's just like the obvious. If you're like Heart's just in stand up with that kind of thing, like that's not necessarily a bad goal. You know what I mean? Like I want to tour and sell out shows.
Merkface, were you like, I'm going to be opening for Fish and then I'm going to fucking have.
They don't have openers, Dan. Thank you.
Forgot.
You were gonna be a cop like your pa and his pa before him.
And then you were gonna flip. And then you were gonna flip the whole precinct on its head when you showed all the corruption.
We had like a group of us that wanted to do comedy in some way, and we all kind of took different paths. Like my buddy Chris he's an editor now, and
failure.
But we wanted to be like what?
He called him a
failure number one. What did your other friends do?
Yeah, he also grows mushrooms in his house as a side gig.
Give him my number, loser.
Yeah, I wanted to like write and make movies and direct movies and stuff like that, but I wanted to do stand-ups. Like when I first started stand-up, like late night was a goal, to get on TV was a goal, and then like just to show my parents I had something, and then like Live at Gotham happens or whatever, and it's just like little victories. But yeah, I learned very early on because I started later as well to not compare myself because like I'm on the later side of this thing, so if I see people in my age bracket getting things and I compare myself to that, it's going to drive me insane.
Oh, dude, it'd drive you absolutely insane.
It's tough for like the Fenoys and stuff. And, like Fenoy started at 29, Vecchione started at 29. That's
that's exact same age I did.
It's an interesting path, but it's so funny. There is advantages on both things. Like the reason why it's starting at 19, you're like probably 10 years or so before, or 9 years before I started to get some things that even if I look back at now, I'm like, like that all could have been better. Do you know what I mean? But and then through my 30s and now I think I have a little more of like an idea of what I am to become like in comedy. But starting later, you have so much more like life experience. All my life experience was doing comedy from 19 till now, Like someone like Fenoya Vecchione, like have lived a whole other life. Vecchione's got a world of teaching and college and all these different things that like I didn't have to draw from. So you do come in with like once you get your legs under you and not being nervous on stage, you have a little more of life experience to draw from.
I mean, that's
a big deal.
Yeah, let's take our break. Let's take a break right now. We got another guest joining us, but I think that's a good conversation to start next, which is like life experience coming into comedy, starting at 29 versus starting at fucking 18. It's a completely different thing in comedy. Comedy's a whole different thing when you start that young versus starting that older. We'll talk about it. We're hanging out with Jessica Kierson, Andy Fiore. It's the Bonfire. And Soder. That's Big J. Oakerson. Our crew's here. Our guests today, we got 3 of them, and they're 3 of the best. From the Relatively Sane podcast, it's the hilarious Jessica Kierson. Our old family member, our son from our first marriage that we barely talked to, Andy Fiore is back from the Raw Report. You tell your bitch of a mother that I sent the check. All right, Andy? Okay. Anyways, sorry. Clear that up. And joining us, she's got a brand new special out right now on YouTube called Self Help Me. You can go watch it. I recommend you do. She's fucking hilarious. Please welcome Liz Mealy.
Hey, claps. That's so exciting. I haven't heard that in so long.
Liz, I'm sorry to do this to you, but also let's not forget Black King Lewis Johnson is also in the house.
You know what, Jay? I was saying the crew because I think he's part of it, but if you want to make his race an issue, then that's fine.
I think he's above it. I think he's quite frankly above the crew. I put him above that. You think the shit goes down? You think I'm going to team up with DJ Lou or Jacob Attal? Jacob barely walk.
Okay,
he's the unhealthiest person. He's the most fragile person in a home full of elderly Jews in Florida.
Dude, his dad's watching him walk around, and he goes, "I can take him. I can take my boy."
I want you to mouth off. Wise off to me.
Say it, Jake the Snake. Say it. I'll put you through the wall, you little shit. You hear him close the door and he goes, "Fuck you, the Korean War wasn't even a war." And he shuts the door and sits down.
You little shit makes me laugh. So you little shit, get over here.
I'll kill you, you little shit. I was there for the New Deal. See? Shut up, Dad.
Shut up, here he comes.
Shut up. Guys, be cool. Shut up. Guys, be cool. Liz, before the break, we were talking comedy, specifically like when you started, and also like what your ideas of where you were going to be at this age are at.
Oh, I mean, I started when I was 16. So
Crazy.
Yeah. So there's two problems with that. The first one is that like my goals were my goals in life were just like to never talk to my family again. And I'm close. So like, yeah, I was like, I just wanted to be, it's funny. I was talking about this with somebody the other day. I just wanted to be successful enough that I could go to comedy clubs and not have to pay. Like that's like, it truly was like, I just wanted to watch comedy. And if I got to a place where I could sit in the back of the room at Gotham, that I was like, I made it. So I feel like I'm above and beyond what I thought, but I don't know. For someone that doesn't like math and was never good at school, I love doing that. Like, okay, when I'm 26, I'll have been doing it 10 years. And when I'm 30, I will have been doing it 20 years. And everybody says it takes 10 years to find your voice. Like, I kind of was like, because I didn't know what I was doing and I was just very young and lost, I kind of used those weird facts and statistics. This is before podcasts. Like I read a couple of how-to books. And then I heard an interview with George Carlin and I was like, I get it. It takes a while. Like I was like, I figured it out. And
did you read the Comedy Bible?
I never did. The one I read, and
page turner. It is a page turner.
The Book of Revelations in the Comedy Bible just talks about this. There you go. And with the great plague, the clubs shall shut.
Yeah.
And all of the blogger show.
If you give a guy named Andy $50, you will get a VHS of your set. Philippians 42:3.
Yeah. Oh, this is my letter of prior to the non-believers.
Just so you know, Liz, to catch up with everybody else, Jessica thought she'd be on SNL. Dan thought he'd be some little Colorado hellion, and Fiore thought he was going to be playing didgeridoo in some Fish cover band. So we all had dreams.
Achieved.
I'm sure you've already talked about it, but like I financially prepare for bad months. So like, you know, I pretend I'm going to make $0 in December and $0 in July because it's almost factually true for me. I've had some good Decembers, but like, so I always prepare for those months to be bad. But then randomly, like a March, I'll make $9, and I'm like, that's Women's Month. Like, how am I not getting booked during Women's Month? So I've become like a saver for that reason, because we all know that, you know, you have good months and you have bad months. Nothing emotionally or financially has prepared me for this. Like, I called my mom on the verge of tears and I was like, I always knew I would be useless during the apocalypse. I just thought I had a couple more years. Like, I was still making my nest egg.
You know what's funny is a lot of comics, I think that's a common mindset for comedians to have, is we all had the like, thank God things are good, because if they're bad, I can't help out. And now we're all living it and we're like, fuck, man, we were all so right.
Yeah. This is the most scared I've been about how, like, this is the most I feel like my parents were right. And my parents are pretty encouraging, but like, this is the first time that I was like, oh, they are 100% right. Like I've built myself too far on a path of unhelpfulness. Like,
well, that's when you should seek the comedy Bible.
Can I say also,
there's a passage.
Also to fill out the group that Black Lou thought he was going to be playing drums in the Roots. Jacob thought he was going to be Bear Grylls. Christine, by what she says, sounds like she thought she was going to be Madonna. And DJ Lou is, I think this is what DJ Lou pictured right here, smoking cigarettes inside his apartment with his room, living with his twin brother.
Living my dream.
Hell yeah, dude. Every day's a new adventure.
He just leans in and he goes, comptroller, New Jersey.
He goes, overachieving, baby.
I had actually a very specific goal of owning my own arts and crafts store. I tried to franchise a Hobby Lobby, but there was nothing. Like, oh, man. I get it. I get it. Yeah, I think there is a weird part about your parents being right now, or everyone being like, always the comments on comedy were like, comedy's fucking useless. You know what I mean? And then you see society get stripped down and you're like, man, there's a lot of people that really.
I should be very busy sending apology emails. Just like, you were right. You were all right. I have nothing to offer.
I'm not sure where your emotions lie on all the craziness going on the streets, but please don't take offense to the fact that Andy Fiore, today being his birthday, is going to he's going to pour like boiling water out of pots onto protesters from his place. But it's his birthday. It's his birthday.
It's my day.
It's his birthday. We have to let him go today. Tomorrow he's a dick, but today it's your day. He's going to throw nail bombs out of his window. It's his birthday, though.
Yeah.
Do I find it
He's been
offensive?
protesting for days, Liz. Did you know that, Andy?
Has he?
Do I find it offensive that Andy wanted an all lives matter themed birthday party? Yes. I found it offensive.
Blue Lives Matter. I wish we could change other people's names in the room on their things. You could just make Andy Fiore's Blue Lives Matter. Andy, I just noticed your name.
I'm saying my full name next to that phrase.
And then I love that Black Lou sends out a screen grab of it on our Instagram, and he goes, "Things got tense today." Dude, I knew Andy was hiding something. Those fish guys.
Just to make sure we can't edit it out, it's Andy Blue Lives Matter Fiore.
Yeah. He goes, I think there should be more bureaucratic thought process to this.
Calm down. That'll teach him.
Yeah, and also Liz, I mean, you put out a special the week of
on the wrong day.
Yeah, on the wrong day. Where it was almost like you're like, listen, this is going to be great. You see, like, you see people put YouTube specials before you in quarantine, and you're like, this is perfect. I got one locked and loaded. Let me drop it. Oh my God, this is the worst week ever to put out a comedy special.
Truly, I had a couple of people that were like, is this the right time? And I was like, clearly not. Like, You know what I mean? Like, I didn't, like, it's so funny how, like, yes, I self-produced it and like self-released it, but it's also like, everything's locked and loaded. Like, it's already going to be put out. Like, it's already been played on Sirius. It's already being released on CD Baby. And I'm just kind of like, hey man, I've already like newsletters have been sent out. Like, I don't have the biggest fan base, but I have enough people that were like, thank you for like the distraction. And I'm not going to pretend like I'm helping in any way, but it's kind of like, hey man, I don't have a job and I don't know when I'm going to make money, and I'm not hurting anybody. I'm not saying like stop protesting. I have a special, everybody. Like,
Liz,
So not to be. Oh,
Could you
sorry.
imagine? Could you imagine?
Liz, is there?
I have a special.
With the special on.
Liz, is there any truth to the rumor that the original working title of the special was "He's Pretty Hot for a Black Guy"?
Black Lou's like, oh, okay, you guys are talking.
Like,
Let me
okay.
unmute myself here. You just see a conversation bubble pop up on Liz's
She goes,
screen.
well, hello, young lady.
As you were saying,
there was tons of working titles, and we did make some changes. But you know, I think I went with the less aggressive self-help me.
It was also called "It Can Never Get Worse Than COVID."
Yeah.
also it was just called Trust a Cop.
Yeah.
That was a weird one. There, you know what?
America was
That was a weird one.
America was already great. Thank you.
America's perfect.
More Karens need to be heard is the original title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop harassing people, blacks.
Kirsten, have you been getting Karen a lot on your comments? Do you ever get, like, I would say in the last 2 weeks specifically, all my hate comments are calling me a Karen, which I want to be like,
No.
I already have a boring
I
white
get
lady name.
I get Karens upset with me. A lot of very liberal people get upset with me, and I'm like, okay, I eat box. I'm doing it. Like, shut the fuck. If anything, it's going to make me more. I'm going to start filming. I'm going to start being a Karen. That's
how you beat him.
I'm going to go around town and be a Karen and show everyone
Was that
how
name
fucking
picked-
horrible they are.
But Jessica, that's like the sorry, Jay. That's like the Second Amendment people that are like the only thing that beats a gun is a good guy with a gun. It's like the only thing that beats a Karen is another Karen.
Only a Karen.
Exaggerated Karen.
Yeah, it's like ninjas. Only a Karen can kill a Karen.
Yeah.
I mean, they do it to me. Like, they try to. It's not Karens. It's those very, very, very liberal white girls that get upset with me.
Is that an anagram, or what is that like, or is it just like a generic white name they're using for girls?
What happened is it was like a joke that someone made, and it's like an internet meme that just. What happened is it got into the general population.
It was a Dane Cook joke, but I don't know the joke.
What might have been? It's just a funny name. We all know it's
stereotypical white woman name, and therefore it's a blanket.
Yeah.
We all know as comedians that an easy trick in a joke is just to say the name. We all know that. Like an easy trick.
Black King Lou, can I ask you a question? If you would grace us with taking yourself off mute for a second and drop us some wisdom and knowledge on us. Was there anything to didn't they used to call white girls Beckies?
Yeah, Becky's, but Karen might be for older white ladies. You know what I mean?
Ah, gotcha.
From what I know is Karen means like the lady, the may I speak to your manager kind of energy with like that Nancy Grace haircut, and they're gonna fucking call the cops because black people are barbecuing in a park in Oakland. Like it's that kind of
the taken care of wife kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like the wife that hates her husband, and instead of aiming her vitriol at him, she just sprays her shit everywhere else because she's like she knows her home and food are paid for by that balding monster that she fucking took balls with.
Men cheat on Karens with Becky's.
Yes.
Very
well put, Christine.
And you are the person.
True.
You are the second person most in this world. It's because circumstantially of what we do, who I correct things they say, and I say plenty of wrong things myself.
I knew most of those words were probably wrong.
No, buddy. But then you come around and you drop vitriol, nail it.
Impressed.
Buddy, not only am I impressed, there's no more I can teach you, young Skywalker.
I know I'm going to go say a wrong word.
By the way, I had to hear the word in context just to know how I should use it next time. It was fantastic work, dude. I'm very impressed. And that's broadcasting. Hey, guys, you're welcome for this free broadcasting class you just got.
Guys, welcome to my master class. Sometimes using words right. I think like Karen's, what you guys, unfortunately, what Jessica and Liz are dealing with are now a term has gotten funny enough. It's been used in funny situations that people just mimic it, and it's in the pool of the general lexicon. And now you guys have to, actual funny people have to deal with unfunny people misusing a funny thing that for a small time. You know what I mean? Like Karen might have been a good reference once, and then everyone's like, I call everyone Karen. It's like boomer. Remember how every unclever person was calling everyone boomer? It's like, oh, you're a hack. That's what you are. If you use that, you're just a hack.
Yeah, I mean, we're about a week away from it being on a T-shirt. Like that's.
Yeah, the guy name was Chad. They always be like, okay, Chad. Like if I saw on like, every stand-up comedian, once you do it past 6 months, you understand that the hack trick is saying a first name gets you a laugh.
Yeah, it's got that hard K too.
I'm guilty of it. I have a bit in my fucking hour special on Comedy Central where I use the word Dennis because I was like, is it Dennis? And then now that I know I did that, when I look back at that joke, I'm like, you fucking hack. I'm like, what a
it's
fucking
true. You always have a fallback name. I think mine was Kevin for a while.
Yeah,
I call everyone Joanne online. When
that's a good one.
Liz knows that. Some of them, if someone says a horrible thing to me, I'm like, Joanne with question marks. And they're like, why the fuck are you calling me Joanne? Like they get so mad. And then I don't answer them. Like it makes no sense.
I think it makes sense. They probably all own fabric stores. Like that is the type of person that would fucking troll you.
Dan, we together have a bunch of those. The Ethans and.
But you know what we do, Jay? I think in
proper names is always the funnier ones.
Yeah, proper names. But here's the difference between originality and hack. Is the hack people hear the example name and just reuse it. What we do is we try to find an actual original name that we would have never said. And Jay and I have said this several times on the show. Nothing is funnier than an actual legal name. When you tell a story, like if I tell a story and I'm like, yeah, then Jason Poyle hawked a loogie on my chest. You're like, that's a real name. That's hilarious.
That's why I love his Artie Lang stories. He goes, Mike DeRucci and Johnny, whatever came. You're like, wow, man, this story's already great. I have a picture in my head of who Mike DeRucci is.
Because that's what separates like the clever people from the unclever people, or like the people that aren't original will just take like okay, Karen, or like, oh, is that Becky with the long hair? And it's like, make up your own fucking example, you dipshit.
Damn, dude. Nice preemptive excuse for stealing jokes later, Dan.
So
it sounds like you're setting up a preemptive excuse for stealing jokes. He goes, look, I didn't do your thing. Like, yeah, look, did you do this pretty much the similar joke? But I didn't say that. I said like I used the term ampersand. You didn't say that at all, dude.
that's my Vanilla Ice where I go, it goes dun 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 dun.
It goes dun 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 dun. So you guys are ridiculous. He goes, guy, listen, sure. Did I just go through Dane Cook, harmful if swallowed, tweak a word or two? But those words I tweaked, I think had impact. I don't want to hear any shit about it.
Did I modernize George Carlin's Back in Town? Sure. He used the same words.
He didn't say clout chasing in his.
I rebooted a special.
He said somebody was looking to take credit for something, and then I said clout chasing. Come on,
Jessica. You have a very original thing that I love more than anything. Where you will you'll turn your back on the audience and talk to yourself about the audience, which is one of my favorite things in comedy. Have you seen anyone try to copy that? Have you seen anyone kind of really?
Yeah. In the past year, I've seen a couple of people do it, and I'm like, you can't, especially when I'm here.
You made it.
Yeah, it's almost flattering.
Yeah. I know it's upsetting because you're not dead,
right.
But
I will be soon, so I'm sure someone, if any of you want it.
It is flattery to some degree. I mean, like I thought it was so weird. Starting with Kevin Hart, it's so weird, like seeing the next level of like Kevin, like he's inspired like so many like young black comics, especially like smaller guys like that. Like really, you feel like when they go high energy, it's like I see all over them. Like, oh wow, man, like he's your template you're going from.
There's a guy.
I don't love when I see someone, and it's usually like a friend who kind of just takes it on, and then I see like my kind of shtick, not necessarily the. I'm like, so anyway, like I, but it's hard when you respect someone's comedy. It is hard if you watch someone all the time to not.
Of course, yeah.
I mean, I don't even
watch none of your specials. Yeah. I've watched none of you. Yeah,
I have no act right now, so I don't have to work. truly feel
I
like
think
I
I've
don't
said-
have an act, which
I
is
think
okay.
I think I said it on the show before, but I was like, man, when I was young in the city and I was working like Caroline's, they used to let me feature for a lot of people, and I'm like,
Yeah.
next week at the comedy clubs was going to be whoever I just opened for. Because, I mean, if it was Dane Cook, dude, all my jokes were fucking flicking around, and then Brian Regan, and I'm like, what are you doing? You gotta go.
Dude, Jay,
So, I mean, whoever I was opening for the next week was just them at the Comedy Cellar.
one time Nate walked up to me and Nate just goes, man, you got to stop watching Bill Burr. And I go, what do you mean? He goes, you're just shifting the mic stand up there. I think I was just talking, being like, right? You know what I mean?
It's hard.
And then I caught myself doing Nate hands one time on stage. I was like, that's just crazy.
If you're a comic that came up in my time or slightly after, and probably slightly before, how many times in your lifetime on stage you'd have to stop yourself from going yeah, I mean, how many times do you have to stop yourself from doing that? You're like, oh my god, it's just the funniest thing to do there.
Really is.
Transcended is the double mic grab. Okay, like that from Mattel when you're like, great.
But he's
do that. You're like, oh, fuck,
it's an interesting conversation with having several comics here. Is that like, who are the templates though now? Like, you see the template. There's definitely a Stanhope template, which I think I always say.
Sebastian Maniscalco is everywhere.
Yeah.
Sebastian, there's something.
So
I gotta see those guys. Those are the guys I want to see.
In Mulaney. I see Mulaney
really?
a lot. Yeah, and it's funny because
Definitely for
because-
sure.
I see that too.
And there's something about his voice, because it's like a very distinct voice, Mulaney, that like I'll be in the other room and I'll be like, oh, am I next? And then I'll be like, is Mulaney here? And then I'm like,
they're bad jokes.
But-
It's just
but
funny to think of. It's funny to think of bad jokes as John Myers. Like, you know what I was thinking the other day? What's up with dating? You go out on a date, you like the girl, you hang out, maybe see her boobs.
But Liz, I almost ask, is there one generation before Mulaney that Mulaney's still cut from the template of? Because probably to some degree. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
The templates are obviously Attell. I said Stanhope. Attell and Stanhope are good templates, but like rough ones sometimes, because like with Attell, you got to be careful that you just don't spend a career like I dealt with many years of like, you're just doing Attell. I'm like, we do a very different thing, but I get exactly what people are saying, so I never argued it. But but he's a rough one because you have to separate yourself so much from what he does specifically. Stanhope's a rough template, I think, because young comics, it doesn't look good if, as a brand new comic, you get on stage and think you're killing it because the crowds are going like, oh, because you go up there and you're willing to go, I ate a girl's abortion blood yesterday because I don't give a fuck, and the president can suck, and you're all that shit, and you're like, dude, you have to be like a seasoned guy to know how to manipulate those kind of shit. You just be a brand new comic and be like,
abortion blood is 4 years in. Everybody knows that.
at least.
You can't do that the first 2 years.
Those are
Name of my new special.
You got in quarantine, but
Abortion blood in quarantine. Yeah.
But they are templates for sure.
there's other templates, like there's the Louis template where people just go on stage.
Definitely Louis Burr for sure.
Bill Burr.
Gaffigan.
Gaffigan's a big one. Gaffigan's a big one where you see the people actually do the talking, where you're like, oh, this
Soft talking.
The soft talking.
Yeah.
Chappelle is prevalent in a lot of people, and it's Tony Woods too. Basically, it's like where you're doing the low into the high into like the peaking. And Patrice, there are a lot of people out there that you'll see them and you're like, you're a Patrice model, like you're like trying to do that.
I still see Mitch Hedberg, which I think is crazy because it's crazy how I'll still see young comics do Mitch Hedberg.
Lewis Black.
Louis
and
Black.
that soft spoken.
Yes.
If you're doing like I can't believe how about who's the original template for a lot of people do this kind of comedy? I don't want to name names. It sounds like I'm saying something negative, but it's just sort of like a brand of comedy. But like the tag on the tag on the tag on the tag. Like I guess like it's not. It's like the Tom.
Wendy Liebman.
Wendy Liebman, Tom Cotter kind of thing. Yeah, that very like.
I saw my parents
Jeremy
the other day.
Jeremy Hudson, Wendy and Kathleen Madigan both have that like through the teeth punchlines at the end. You know, like I think they're always going to take a sip of something.
Jessica, you're right. The Wendy Liebman one is massive.
Massive.
Yeah.
Some people might not know who she. I mean, she's an incredible comic, but it's
Great joke
it's
writer.
a lot of people have taken on her cadence. Is that a word?
Who's carrying the Emo
Very
Phillips
much so.
torch?
Who, Emo Phillips?
Who's carrying the Carrot Top Emo Phillips torch?
Yeah.
Where are those guys? Who's today's Bruce Baum and Dennis Wolfberg? Where are they?
Yeah, dude. I want someone to bring back the Kinnison. Just shout for no reason.
I'm almost there, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Well,
I've
Who's
become very
2020
shouty, and I just need the right jacket. And I don't brush my hair, so I'm almost there.
Where's
You have to
20
shoot up and
Where is 2020's Geechee Guy or Wayne Cotter? Where are these people?
I'm looking for the 2020
Nelson, where are they?
I'm looking for the 2020 Judy Tenuta.
Yeah. Who is the next? Mealy, it could be you. You could be the next Tenuta. How do you feel about polka?
Would you play the accordion and call all men stud slaves? What does she call them?
Yeah, a pig. No
Close
pigs.
to having a prop. I don't know where you guys are, but I'm very close to having
I
just
say
a
first
phrase
prop.
and a prop.
I
What?
say bring back the heavy shoulder pads blazer.
Poundstone
Yeah.
it. Poundstone it to the top,
To
Liz.
be honest, I was hugely influenced by Poundstone, and I was thinking that's so weird that you brought her up because I was thinking about I had an ex-boyfriend. This is like 10 years ago, and he opened up for Dick Gregory, who I was obsessed with, and Paula Poundstone, who also was always played on Comedy Central, like late 90s, early 2000s, and she did cat jokes, and that's pretty much how people. I'm just a girl that tells cat jokes, like that's pretty much what I do, and I was like, she had a huge influence on me. And I was like, she still dresses exactly the same. And I'm headed towards that. As a woman that is dressing exactly how I did when I was 16 in my 30s, I was like, I will be whatever that version. I won't be the little blazer and the little polka dots or whatever she wears, but I'm very close to being a Paula Poundstone in 20 years.
If I come out of quarantine, I want to come out of here with two things: a better understanding of racial relations in the United States, and my own jalapeno on a stick, because I'm going Jeff Dunham, baby. I want the monies. Give me the monies. Okay.
Nobody becomes a template for like comedy ventriloquism because like if you do it now, everyone just thinks you're a jerk off.
Yeah, they go. If you see me go, why don't I bring out my friend here? Shit.
I say that, or the impression thing starting when you start naming the impressions you're about to do, and you go, and it might sound a little something like this, and then
It would be pretty crazy if Rodney Dangerfield was at these George Floyd protests, and I think it would go a little something like this. Hey, black people have never gotten respect. I'm telling you. There's a systemic system that keeps them down. They can't get small bank loans. Yeah, what about the modern...
black people get no respect. Hey, no respect, these black people.
Yeah, I'm telling you, not even COVID has respect for black people. You know, it's killing.
So good impressions. Soder, I'm so proud of you.
Because of,
now you have to talk about how the club folded.
hey, you want to know something? I never thought my comedy club would be a place for rioters to sleep at night. Hey, I'm telling you. Oh, it's not the riot. It was with my accountant and my ex-wife. I'm telling you.
Part of me believes even while that would be happening, Nancy Redmond would still be in there wearing a tuxedo.
Yeah. Like the Overlook. It's just like the Overlook.
You've always been here, Miss Redmond.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
never gonna leave.
Red man.
Yeah. Because what you guys don't know is I had a Haitian priest put a curse on the club. If you work there for more than a month, your soul belongs there eternally.
Yeah. Hey, Rodney, I noticed that I'm in this picture here from 1955.
Never left.
How is that? You've always been here, kid.
Hey, kid, I'm telling you, Dangerfields is like Hotel California. You can come in, but you can never leave.
I'll tell Liz and Jessica, dude, on Legion of Skanks one time, you can always go back and listen to it.
Yeah.
They are doing the impression. Aaliyah Janine was on the show for some reason, and she was talking about.
Dangerfields too.
Yes, she was talking about. Well, because you did the impression, she was talking about getting fucked in the ass by Lexington Steele, and I think it was Lexington Steele, right?
Shawn Michaels.
Oh, Shawn Michaels, yeah, by Shawn Michaels. And then I don't know how it got to it, stupid comedian discussion, but we got to the process at whatever her world combined, I guess, kind of thing. We got like the process to get past
Yeah.
the Dangerfields is you have to do good, and then Shawn Michaels has to fuck you in the ass. And
We said that was the
I hate
passing
asking you to do
process?
impressions, dude,
Yeah,
but it was just.
but I go, hey kid, that was a tight five. No, you got to go in the broom closet. Shawn Michaels was going to rearrange your intestines.
The broom.
Hey,
You go breathe through your nose, kid. You're gonna kill yourself.
hey kid, hope you didn't have a solid lunch, or else we're going to be in some real trouble. I got a quick question. Are you anemic? Yeah, there might be a fissure behind this.
Oh, dude, how great is comedy? That concept is rooted in absolutely nothing at all.
Yeah.
That concept is rooted in nothing. For some reason, Shawn Michaels has to fuck you to pass Dangerfield.
I think now thinking of Dangerfield.
Oh, and I know the best thing ever in the world was how it started to come up was Aaliyah Janine was like, she goes, yeah, and then he bent me over and Shawn Michaels put his entire 11 inches up my ass. And Stan goes, good set.
That was a good set. Yeah, dude. Back to I mean, we always fall down these weird paths, but coming out of quarantine as a prop comic.
Back to your father's death, Jessica.
Let's go back to the original sin, the West African slave trade. Guys, let's go back to the real thing.
What did you
Let's go back to the trade slave. You guys want trade slave?
I don't know about history.
Dude, by the way, Jessica, that was the story I wanted to tell you. I completely forgot that you doing that with Schumer reminded me of when I was in college. I had friends that went to UNLV and they met me at Arizona State and were like, hey, come up. I was going to Arizona and they're like, drive up to Arizona State. And we went to this party. It was a house party. They were trying to kick people out. And we were smoking joints on this back patio, right? And it was like frat boys at Arizona State. And they're like, everyone get the fuck out of here. And it was me, my friend Johnny, and Dennis. And we're sitting on the top level smoking a joint outside, right? And we didn't know everyone was getting kicked out. These guys come in the bedroom and they're like, hey, you guys got to get the fuck out of here. And I had my back and I turned and I went, I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you were saying. And the guy went, oh man, I'm sorry, man. You guys can take your time. You guys can take your time. And I was like, thanks a lot, bro. And dude, my two friends were like, what the fuck did you just do? And I was like, I don't know. We got out of here comfortably.
Our ass.
Quick thinking
You
is
know,
what
I
you
did that. I don't know if any of you saw the video I did, but I went up on stage at this horrible casino in in Philly as a deaf comic. Jay, I think you saw it. Did you see that?
Was that at Parks?
Christine, I sent it to you.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think I know the casino.
Christine, go find that shit.
Dan, while she brings that up, I don't want to go back too far to what you said before, though, but it just got me thinking. Do you think somewhere in the racist Midwest of this country, they do like fantasy slave trades with like the local black guys in town? Like, all the white guys get together in a basement. They go, all right, Ron, my next door neighbor, that guy is jacked. I'm going to take him first.
Are you thinking
Like a version of Get Out.
Yeah. Fantasy slave trades. And then every time you see Ron, you go, Ron, what's up? What are you doing? And Ron's like, no, I just came back from a 3-mile run. And you go, it's 3 points for me.
Wait, are you saying that these guys in the Midwest LARP as plantation owners?
Fantasy slave trades.
They go, honey, where are you going in that seersucker suit? And he goes, I'm going over to Michael's basement to do a thing.
Yeah, he goes, I'm going to Michael's man
grab.
cave. I'm going to Michael's man cave.
I love all of Jessica's funny faces.
Because they're fucking shit. It's great.
God, it's totally way down. I'm looking for it because you guys will die. I think I sent. It's insane.
You know how you can like pick a cover, Jessica? So like if you're making a weird face, that's not the cover. But I feel like there's no option for you not to do that.
Well,
you remember when it was
thank you.
Jessica?
It's all silly faces.
It was absolutely horrific.
Jessica, can we be honest? Was it Parks Casino?
No, it was the other one near there.
Okay.
Parks was one of the worst gigs I've ever done, Dan.
Yeah, Parks was. I took a fucking lumping on that one. I remember sitting in the parking lot of that casino and then just in the rental car.
I found it, Christine. I'm gonna text it to you. Good.
Yeah. I think her mic's off.
That casino's bad.
Oh, dude, it was just.
The crowd sucked.
I've done
Have
some
you
fucking.
ever done a good casino gig? Like, I just.
One in Oklahoma. What's the one in Oklahoma, Jay? In what's it called?
I don't remember because I feel terrible. We got that lady's job got changed because of us.
Really?
Changed. What is that?
Because she was booking it. She loved comedy, dude, and they paid so much money, and we got hammered on Bertcast. Me, Ari, and Bert, Tony Hinchcliffe, and we all go, "Yeah, dude, they pay so much," and then we go. It's just like we were almost like it's too much. It's too much. We're giving you so much money for one show, and it's such an amazing treatment. And then we all like said how much we made each.
The fact that you guys did that,
she got like just she didn't get demoted or lose money. I don't think, but they just transferred to go. You are not booking this anymore.
you just told a Native American casino that they're paying you too much money, and then that goes up the flagpole, and fucking good with numbers has to listen to that podcast.
I mean, that is absolutely true because I mean, she loves comedy, dude, and she just such a bummer.
First, the white man took our land. Now, the white man takes advantage of our booker by taking all of our money. Everyone knows comedy doesn't work in casinos. They start saying that. They know more about stand-up. Listen, it's
I did when they had that Revel casino open in AC. I did like one of the last weeks of that. That was a fucking night. It was all just old people, not there for me.
No.
I opened for Jeff Ross once. It was great.
But you also remember at the Revel Casino, you were like in the middle of the casino, so it was like, like all around you.
It was horrible.
Actually, really one of the worst though for me, and it wasn't even it was empty or anything. It was just a horrible crowd. Every time I did it was that fucking casino right up in Yonkers, man.
Dude, Empire Casino.
I wouldn't do it if they told me it was going to be all fans. I think the room's haunted. I've never unpleasant. Everyone in there seems like they were made to go to this show. It's very unpleasant. I've never seen a crowd that angry out of the gates.
By the way, I know this gig.
I know exactly what this room is.
I know I know exactly in Jersey where that is.
It's a horrible audience. Horrible.
This looks like a sitcom that's trying to pretend it has a comedy show. Like it's.
Before we were there together, I think.
It was the best fun I ever had. And I'm going to do it. I think after quarantine, I'm going to go up as a different disability every show.
Fiore and I worked at that club. But real quick, Parks Casino or Empire Casino, I worked in 2009. I opened for DeRosa, and I did my set and got out of there. And DeRosa, at one point, was like doing a joke about like George W. Bush and something about like war, and it's all these old conservatives. And then he just looks over at me at the bar and he goes, politics. And you get all the way to the top. And I just started laughing, and I was the only one laughing in that casino room. And I remember how bad. I never worked Empire after that. I was like, that was such a bad thing.
Yeah, Empire is brutal.
Yes, good. You pretend to have a disability, but you know what great disability you pretend to have? It's so subtle. Polio. Just have a polio arm and just like swing it up onto the mic stand.
Oh, dude! And you can get arm crutches.
Yeah, just like long term. Yeah. Oh yeah, like you mean like forever crutches, the ones that like fit your arm right.
Yeah.
Forever crutches.
Forever crutches. Yeah.
Yeah, we look like Jimmy from South Park.
Yeah, forever crutches. Yeah.
Wow.
Forever crutches.
All right, guys, we're gonna take a quick break. We are hanging out with Andy Fiore, the birthday boy, Liz Mealy, and Jessica Kierson. We'll be right back. It's the Bonfire
special out now. Self-Help Me is on YouTube for free. Go watch it. The very funny Liz Mealy. Well, let's watch this video of Jessica Kierson fighting through her disability.
I go up. They think I'm deaf.
How long did you stay deaf on this?
You'll see.
You guys ready for the headliner? She's been on Howard Stern. She on the radio. She's rated the top comedian, best comedian. She's the #1 comedian.
She's the top deaf comedian.
You ready? Put your hands together for Justin
So
Peters.
quiet.
Hold on, pause.
Watch the
Dude,
crowd's reaction.
That table of all lives matter in the front row. When they heard deaf comedian, they're like, "What the fuck? What do you mean deaf?"
That table looks like they're taking they're taking an actual casino issued buffet break. They have to restock.
That looks like if
You're fucking
Sir, for
brilliant.
legal reasons, you need to be out of here for 15 minutes.
Hysterical.
Casino mandates you have to take a break. Like, listen, if you read the fine print, you do have to give 15 minutes a day for us to have some turnover.
But they also have to quote a specific thing in the law. They go New Jersey
No,
state
no.
law.
Sir, you cannot take a chafing tray with you.
Yeah, it looks like that table looks like if microwavable mac and cheese were people.
Yeah. Hey, I'm Liam Stofers. This is Brett Stofers, Doris Stofers, and Ellen Stofers.
You guys are gonna
Stouffer
shit.
family.
You guys are gonna shit. We're the Hungrymans.
The Hungrymans. Yeah. My name's Tommy. I'm Tommy Swanson.
Yes. That was a clue on Jeopardy the other day when I was watching it. Swanson knows Final Jeopardy. Swanson family dude.
This
With,
is Marie Claire's great grandson.
I guess that's little Debbie over there. We keep her. All right, let's play it.
This is Kirkland, Costco.
Watch how uncomfortable it gets.
Everybody, how you doing? And thank you so much for coming. How are you? What? Thank you. Where are you from? The club? You live here? You live on road? Down?
Good God.
What? What did you say? Sir? What did you just say? Looking at what? Hat? All right, I can't do it anymore. I have comics in the back filming me. I just did it for
The thing is so great about that is they're when someone says a deaf comic coming out and they all just are willing to accept that as truth. One thing none of them thought was that it was going to be an audience engaging comic. Yeah.
An all crowd work.
Honestly, Jessica, I think you've inspired me to bring out my character after the quarantine that I think is probably going to do pretty goddamn great, which is blind guy that does crowd work. So it's kind of like, hey, I heard someone breathing pretty heavy over here.
Yeah.
What's up, big guy?
There we go. Like
You're looking the wrong way.
All your insults have to be tactile. Like,
Yeah.
what are these pants made out of? Dacron? What a mo, right? Am I crazy or what? Let me feel this guy's pants, everybody.
Guys,
That's crazy.
Guys, touch this ugly motherfucker's face.
Yeah.
Honestly, it burned my hand.
Oh, this motherfucker got a big old nose. Big old it's wet. It's always it's wet for
I
some
smell a Jew.
I go, why do I smell doo-doo in the back? Who doesn't wipe their butt?
I smell doo-doo with a blind Def Jam crowd work comic.
You go, this bitch smelling like doo-doo showing up for a first date.
Yeah.
I go, you know, brothers be smelling like cool water cologne. You know what's up. DJ, kick it.
We should all be horrible on purpose.
Oh, I mean,
we should make a whole pact of just going up and just fucking wing. I'm gonna wing it. I can't do my old stuff. I don't know what to do.
My first weekend.
Dan, blind comic. Hey, if a girl comes up to me after the show and she's ugly, y'all better tell me, y'all. Y'all better tell me.
You know I ain't trying to bust no back out of no ugly bitch.
Yeah, I don't get down with an ugly bitch.
Yeah.
I can tell you. I can tell you, Black. Why? Because you don't sound like you sucks dick. What? Come on now. Come on now with it. Come on now with it.
Yeah, I mean, I think all of us, if we all agree to fake a disability once the quarantine ends, and then we can all pool our money together.
Will you
I'd
guys?
I'd like to dibs. I'd like to dibs polio if I could. I really.
Oh, you can have polio.
Liz, what will be your disability? Because so far we've got.
Can I just have like Lyme's disease and people have to guess?
You're just sad some days because you have Lyme.
Liz,
You're
just has mono.
You're pre-lupus.
Yeah.
Mine's gonna be like just like my personality. People are like, "There's something wrong." I don't know though. I just don't know what it is.
You know, honestly, we could all say we have horrific things if we just use the word pre. That gets you out of a lot of things. Because then people go, I'm pre-skin cancerous. They go, skin cancer. You go, no, pre. Don't send flowers just yet. Come on, don't put me in the ground yet, guy. Come on, I'm still
pale
fighting
enough. I can get away with that one. Like, yeah. You got to be careful, bro.
He's got a lot of carcinomas in his skin.
I want to be deaf and have a horrible limp.
Oh, great.
Oh, the deaf limp is good.
A limp like you've never seen, and no one knows what happened.
I'm going to put that Enrique Iglesias birthmark on my face.
That's pretty good.
I'm going to do it.
You should get a huge one, Jay. Like huge.
Maybe I'll get a fucking Aaron Neville, like a goddamn Dalmatian.
Oh, look!
I want to call dibs on neck brace. I want to do neck brace comedy, Jay.
That's good.
You know what, guys? I'm thinking either sticking with blind or I'm going to double down and I'm going to get a lateral lisp and perform in a skull halo. I go, so what are you guys? Oh, fuck. I'm sorry. What's going on at this table?
Easy.
Keep saying ow.
It's like 1,000 knives every time I turn.
Or Dan.
I go, that thing was going fast.
Hey Dan, how about
on this thing?
How about maybe a degenerative eye disease where you're not fully blind yet, but you only do crowd work, so you got to go. Who's that there in the back? Is that an orange shirt? Was that orange? It's black. Come here. Come up here. Come up to the stage for me, would you? Is this guy Indian? What is he? He's Puerto Rican? He doesn't look white to me.
Talk out loud. Talk out loud.
Talk out loud.
Talk out loud. What voice do you have?
He's like, hello. He goes, oh, that guy's Puerto Rican. Yo, what's up with this Puerto Rican ass motherfucker over here with no socks on and slip-on shoes? Am I right? Is that what he's wearing? Is he wearing that?
I love the lisp. That's the best.
Guys, are we actually doing this? Ow, guys. Oh, fuck.
He goes, I gotta get out of here. I gotta turn some screws in the back, loosen this some bitch up.
Sorry, guys, I gotta go back to my hotel room and put some oil on this thing so I stop kicking around like the Tin Man. It's just an old fucking alien. Yeah, I think we've made a lot of progress here tonight, guys, in our careers. I feel like we're really gonna take off. Make sure
it was like The Secret. What we just did was like The Secret, dude. We just put it out there in the world. What we all want now, and we're gonna get those things.
You're better than my therapist, guys. I really feel like I've grown.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Check out Liz's new special, Self Help Me, out now on YouTube. Go watch it. She's hilarious. Make sure you check out Jessica Kirsten's podcast, Relatively Sane. And of course, the Raw Report with, sorry, I was going to burp. The Raw Report with Andy Fiore and our Black King, Lewis Johnson.
Black King.
I swear to God, Andy, if you even make eye contact with him, you're a racist. So that works.
Just, Black Lou, I already put a down payment on a tiger for your birthday gift. I'm giving you a live tiger.
Oh, good one.
Hell yeah.
Well, good luck, because I rented out Benihana's. So let's fucking go. Whole crew.
Don't go to Benihana's next year.
Dude, let's definitely go. I love Benihana.
Make sure you check out Dan every Sunday night on Billions, 9 p.m. Showtime. And of course, the 25th to the 27th of June, he is going to be with Justin Silver at Helium St. Louis. Make sure you check that out.
And make sure you go to bigjcomedy.com and get tickets for June 18th through the 20th. Jay's going to be at Helium in Indianapolis, Indiana. So make sure you go get your tickets now because seating is limited.
And we'll say to both though, but keep going. Like make the things. If I'll add as many shows as they'll let me add to make sure we accommodate everybody.
Yeah.
Nice.
Please do.
But Jessica, Liz, Fiore, we love having you on. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out.
Thanks, guys. Love you.
Thanks, everybody.
Lulu, Jacob, and Christine. I love you guys.
We got to do a happy birthday, Fiore, to go out of here.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Happy
birthday
to you.
Happy Happy birthday to you. Yori. Many more. Row your boat. Row your boat.
Now, here's a little story about to tell about Andy Fiore so well. Born way back in history, it's my man.
Dude, that was such a funny. I knew that's how it was going to go because we tried this on Skanks last week, the birthday, and you realize that everyone's delayed a little bit, so it's going to sound like a hunk of shit. Like, hey, we want to celebrate you right now. We love you, Andy.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you so much, Liz. Thank you so much, Jessica. We love you guys. On behalf of our king, Black Lou, our king, hit the streets, rage loot. I'm just kidding. I mean, Dan's not, but I am.
Wait, what?
Wait, what was the last show of the week? Don't do this.
I'm trying to buy Dangerfields, dude.
Hey, good set. We love you guys. We'll catch you next time right here on Bonfire.